So today I thought I'd change up the angle, and to be honest, it is because of some overexposure from the window when I normally film on my desk over there. And this is honestly probably going to be a shorter review. There's just not much to talk about with the newest Netflix kids film, Finding Ohana. And right off the bat, you have a buried treasure, a constant bickering between siblings, and a trip to Hawaii. The kids in this film really do act like kids, even when they are trying to act like adults. And the whole time they are trying to act like adults. That's one thing that this journey kind of forces them to do, is to figure out their differences and to figure out why it is that they don't get along. They don't know that right away because they're more focused about their own personal agendas, but they have a lot of trouble getting there because of the fact that they have to work together. The only things that the siblings can agree on is the fact that they do not want to move to Hawaii, and that is the biggest conflict that they are facing before the adventure actually starts. And that is because their mom is thinking about trying to get closer with her father for all the years that they have not seen each other. And I won't go into spoilers as to why. So immediately from there and this setup, which does take about an hour before they even get to the adventure, and remind you it's a 2-hour film. The point to all of this, though, is that I began to speculate that they would actually become adults by the end of the film, at least as to their age restraints, because they are still young, obviously. But they are going to, along the way, of course, become closer as siblings like they never have before. The film does jump back and forth a lot, at least in the beginning half, and that is the fact that they are with the kids for a while and the siblings, and then because there's two groups, there's Peely and then the brother, and then there is Hannah and then the brother as well. So I think the brother's name is Ione, and then the other brother's name is Casper. So the two groups are together throughout the entire film, and then they go back to be, or the filmmakers then go back to be with the parents, and we see what their relationship is like and what they're dealing with. But then they kind of forget about the parents and fully focus on the journey of finding the treasure and figuring out what it is, where it is, and whether or not it's real. And my biggest complaint with this film is that the adventure itself was not big enough. For a 2-hour film, it just did not fit the runtime. It felt rushed. It felt like they wanted an hour for one thing and an hour for another, and that's it. That's how they went about it. There's also one reoccurring montage that happens throughout this film, and it tried to make the film seem darker or more explorative through the lore that they are trying to teach us about Hawaii's island, and it just didn't work out for me. It actually kind of dragged the film on a bit, and I hate talking about when runtimes are too long, because I do think runtime should be as long or as short as they want to be, but it just didn't add any extra dialogue or context, even though they were wanting to add all the context of what the kids didn't know through this knowledge. And for me, it just felt like a giant waste of time. Personally, I cared more about the actual relationships than the treasure itself, and that is sad because when it's a kids movie like this, you are probably wanting the kids and the parents who are watching this film to care about both sides. And when you choose one over the other, I just feel like that's bad writing on the screenplay writer's part. Now, I did, however, appreciate the fact that not only were there group conflicts, but there were individual conflicts, meaning that Peely can't swim, the brother is dealing with not being able to protect everybody because there's so much going on, and he gets so, not frustrated, but he gets overwhelmed. Then Hannah is trying to get into school, and the brother just wants to remember what it is like to be with his father and to be the family that they used to be, which was an actual non-bickering family, and that they all got along. Now, we did get to see a lot of Hawaii, but that was really only through the actual adventure, and I'm pretty sure that that was all made up anyways because they spend most of this time in a cave. So I wanted to really see more of the Hawaii island and more about the people of the Hawaii island like they talk about, and we only get a little bit of hint of that throughout the beginning and then a little bit at the end as well. The sad thing about Finding Ohana is that there tried to be a lot of heart here, and there even is a twist at the end that I did not see coming. I will admit that. The thing is, though, it felt like that was the only reason why the journey actually happened, and it felt like a predetermined plot point that they needed to hit in order for the movie not to be completely pointless, because they have the adventure, but why is the adventure there? Other than the fact that this the sibling Peely really likes to do geocaching, which is a new terminology that I didn't know about until I watched the film. They may have made it up, but it's basically when you go and you hunt for things like treasure in another group, kind of like a sports event. Now, the thing is, I understand that they couldn't find this family piece in New York. They had to find it on the island of Hawaii. And so that is another main reason as to why I think this film has the adventure side, so that they can all get closer together and just become a part of a bigger family. And with that being said, overall, I just did not like the film. It felt very easy to watch and not in a good way. Alright, well, you know what time it is. It is time for the rating, and I'm going to go ahead and give my Letterboxd rating out of 5 and then my percentage rating out of 100. And so my Letterboxd rating is a 1 star out of 5, and my percentage rating is going to be a standing 12% out of 100. I'm going very low on this one. It just did not hit the mark with me at all. I know I'm not the target audience, and I put that into consideration, but I watched every moment of this movie. I did not be on my phone or listen to music or do homework. I was watching, and I just did not like at all what I was watching. So it may be for you. I would still recommend it to the younger audience or families. So if you want to check it out, it's on Netflix. Just know you'll be spending some time to get to where you need to be going, or where they need to be going. So with that all being said, I will see you guys in the next video.